Hello. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday and it's your day. People on my personal profile here, it is your day for us to talk a little bit. So, if you're going to be watching me live, let me know where you're watching from and let me know if you're going to be watching the replay. Also, leave a comment there. I'll come back and give you a shout out because today we want to look at life. We want to look at life. And I want to share with you a few things that I have grabbed from John C. Maxwell book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And today we want to look at laws of priorities. Wow. Kind of big word right there, right? The law of priorities to your life. Yes, want to talk about that in a little bit, and then I'm going to be out of your way. And hope that I'll share some food for thought, and you'll have something to chew on, to chew on for the rest of the week. But for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Yvette Garel, and I come live in this community once per week. I missed last week. I had like three training sessions back to back, and oh my goodness, I was out of gas, if you know what I mean. I could not keep up. But anyway, today I want to share with you something about this law of priorities, because what I find sometimes, even for myself, is that we make priorities and we say things are a priority, but then we really don't even act like they are actually priority, and we don't really get them done in that order, because priority mean it is way above the others, but sometimes priority for everyone means something different, and then we can fall to the bottom of the pile. Depends on how much importance you put on that priority, right? Yeah, so here I am in this social media world as a social media coach. We help home-based business owners, MLM personnels, network marketers, direct sales personnels, how to leverage social media and take their business online, strategies, tips, and tools. We provide that opportunity to help out. So as I go and I get it, I come back and I teach it, I share it, right? But today I want to look at the law of priorities, right? So the John C. Maxwell talks about, if you really want to shake up your life and really get out of your comfort zone, then you might want to look at the priorities, or what we refer to as priorities in our life. Um, it doesn't matter who you are, where you belong. There are some things in your life that are more important than others to you. And now this is a personal thing, right? Because what's important to you is might not be important to me, as well as it might be important to me. But where do I put it? Where does it fall on that list of priorities, right? So if is there something in your life that's really going on so bad, it's just like so poor that you might want to change, and so now you have to take a look at it. You have to really be conscious about this thing and take a look at it, and be honest about it, and not throw it on underneath the rug, and not thinking that it's just there. No, if it's not serving the purpose, then you might want to take a look at it and do an evaluation about it, right? Or do an evaluation on it. Address the matter. Don't just put it to the side, and it's just there. Yeah, it's not that. Just no. I have to address it, because then if it's a priority, then it's important to you, right? It's important to you. So let's oh my goodness, I got to tell you that my allergies are my asthma and everything is just causing a muck. So I have to apologize. I'm gonna drink me some water. Get me a sip of water. Get my little throat together here. Okay. So if something is, if in life we are exposed to all kinds of stuff, whether on the job, in our homes, on the street, in the grocery store, in our businesses, wherever, because life is just life, right? But in our own personal life, we can sit back and be like, okay, what is important to me? What's my priority here? even what is important to me in my family, in my business, in my marriage, in what is it that is important to me here. And if something is not going well, and if it's that poor, then we need to address it. If it's the, whether it's performance or quality, whatever, if it's not serving the purpose for what you would want it to serve, then you have to take a look at it and address it, deal with the matter, right? So you might want to make some revision, revisit it, and don't just sweep it under the rug. Don't just be like, "Hey, I'll take care of that another day." No, because it's gonna be out there in the peripheral, just lingering. It's not serving you well. Hmm? It's not, and you're not serving it well either. Hmm? So, what are some things that you can do, right? You can look at it and describe, is it working? Is it not working? Is it, what do I need to do? Do I need to make some adjustments? Do I need to make some revision? Do I need to scratch it? Do I need to, you know, turn, find another way or reshuffle? So, because if you want to make it a priority, then you got to do something about it, right? Okay, so John C. Maxwell talks about this law of priorities. So, what's your priority? For me, I know my priorities, right? In my life, what is priority? Some of them, I know they are priority. Why am I not acting on them? Why are not you not acting on them? So, if we say something is that important and it's a priority, and some people like to put urgency behind it, why am I not taking action? Yeah, so we can't just make a list. Oh, this is so important to me. So what you're going to do about it? Got to take some action. And so if something is a priority, then you want to take some action, because if something is just way over there from you, it's going to have less significance than the thing that is closer to you. Huh? Right. And depends on how you are connected, on how it's connected to you, how it does that, what kind of impact it has on you. Because sometimes we say things are priority, and because it doesn't have an immediate impact on us, then yeah, we write it down as priority. But because the impact isn't there, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't impact anything in your life or anything that you're doing, it doesn't hold back anything, then it's just there, right? It's really not a priority. It's not important. Huh? Right there, right? And something can be important, but it's just not a priority right now. Priority is that supercharged. Is you have those things got to get done. Those have to be like moving, right? Get those out of the way. Those are priorities that are different. Things that everything is important, but our priorities are the ones that's a must do, must do, must do. Coming down the line. So you shuffle up and you think about your list, whatever you have there going on, whatever you have put together, and get those done, right? So he talks about the 3 R's. Oh my goodness, I am so just not it's so congested. He talks about the 3 R's, right? He said, what is it that is required of me? So this is personal, right? What is it that is required of me? Right? If you have never done so, if you don't take time to write out answers to these 3 R's, what is it? To think about your priorities, right? Applying the law of priorities. What is it that is important? What is required of me? Okay, that's the first thing you want to think about. So depends if it's in your job. What is it that is required of me? Why does this thing take that preeminence up there? Huh? Think about it. That's the first R. Then the second R is, what gives the greatest return? Hmm? What gives the greatest return? Now, everybody has to do this. As I said, this is a personal thing. What gives the greatest? If something is a priority, now what is required of me that this thing is up here? What gives the greatest return? Okay, it's up here. It's so important. It's a priority. I got to get it done. What am I looking for? What am I expecting? What's going to give me the greatest return on that? And then the last R is, what brings the greatest reward? Because if you put it as a priority, it's a must do, right? Now, what is required for you to get that must do? You have to do something. So what is it? What's when you have done it, you will be rewarded. Maybe you feel accomplished, you feel good, you're happy, or something. See, it's like those 3 R's, they run in that order. What's required? What's return? What's the return? What am I expecting to get? And how am I going to feel after? So it touches different areas of your emotions. Yeah. So once you have answered those three questions, then you can create a list of things you're doing that don't fit. So you might say something is a priority, but you might end up realizing it's really not a priority, right? So it doesn't fit. What is a priority for you? Does it fit into those three R's? What's required? What's give you that greatest return, and what is the greatest reward that you will receive from it? Okay, so so he says successful people live according to the law of priorities. Huh. Yeah, because all of us want to be successful in our what do we do in life, in our business, on the job. We want to make that next rank in our business. We want to get that promotion. We want to be successful. But there are certain things that we need to do in order to make sure that success happens. We've got to set some things as priorities, some must do's. And so because of that, hey, Martin, because of that, then we can know how to operate. But when we have everything in a big jumble bumble and we haven't like sifted it out and sorted it out and categorized it and departmentalized or whatever, whichever word you want to use, and everything is just everything. No, we have to set some priorities in our business. What is it that is important right now that I must? What's required of me right now? What's required of me? Some things in your life, some things in your marriage, some things with the kids, in your finances. What's required of me right now? What am I supposed to do that gives me the greatest return? And then what's going to give me the greatest reward? Because it's so personal, you're going to have to do that. Think about it yourself. It says successful people live based upon the law of priorities. They lead like that, and sometimes we talk about time. People say, oh, I have no time. Man, if I had enough time, I need some time, right? We talk about time. I don't know why we beat upon time, and we cannot do anything about time. Time is just constant, and everybody gets the same 24 hours in the day. And so what are you going to do? We have the same amount of time, but I don't have enough time. I need some more time. Only if I had some time. Boy, I really want some more time for this. You're not going to get any more time. What we need to do is to manage what we have to do within the time that we have, right? And so that requires us to set some priorities, because everything is important, pretty much. You're going to be like, oh, all of this is important. But how are you going to get them through or get them done if you're not going to put them in order of priority? Because some things does take preeminence. Some things does require you to take care of that first. There are some things that, yes, some things are short term, some things are long term. And so then we need to adjust some things in our lives. We want to be successful, aren't we? We want to do things. We want to have time freedom, personal freedom, financial freedom. We want to be spending time with grandkids. We want to go traveling. We want to, build a mansion on the hill and have the cars park up in the driveway. We want to sit on the beach with our cigars, whatever it is, whatever is your thing, right? We have to prioritize things in our life and stop the excuses, because, Robert Kiyosaki says, the only difference between rich people and poor people is how they use their time. I'll read it again. The only difference between rich people and poor people is how they use their time. Remember now, that's the writer of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? So he's talking to the mindset, how we use time, because some people will make all the excuses in the world. Oh, I don't have no time. If I had time, man, if I did this before this, maybe, you have to set it up, my friends. It just doesn't happen like that. You have to set it up, because we all do this. But once you realize that, I'm just going around in circle, I'm just milling and just, no, let's list them. Let's prioritize them. Let's put them in order of priority. order of importance wherever you are, whether it's on the job, in your home, in school. When I used to go to school, and you get all these subjects when I attended college, and you have all these assignments, and this one is due this week, one is due next week, one is 20 page, one is 5 page, one. You gotta do some juggling here. Okay, one is the ones that due first, maybe it's just 10 pages, but there's one down the road that is due the other week, which is 20 pages. So you might want to think, how am I going to address these? You got to prioritize what's important. You got to get them done, no doubt about that. But how are you going to do that? So the law of priorities is really, really simple, but it's very complex because it has to do with you. And human beings are complex people. Human beings are complex people, right? We got lots of stuff going on. We are so complex, and that's how we are made up. So don't beat up on yourself now. Give yourself some grace. But remember that priority. You've got to set priorities in our lives. We have got to. What is important to us? What would we want to get done to move the needle forward, whether it's in your business, in your life, in your marriage, in school, on the job, wherever, even driving up and down the highway. Sometimes you got to think, I might want to do this first. You got this to do, that to do. Sometimes you got to write it down, because if you really don't write it down, then you might just forget one. So that's a good key part to take away here. Put them on paper, because when you put them on paper, they will remain in the same order that you put it in your brain. Yeah, you're gonna remember everything, but it might be a little tweaked. This minute, depending on your situation and your frame of mind, you might remember it one way, and the next minute it's gonna be like maybe the opposite way, or maybe you start in the middle and be like, oh, I forgot that one, right? So let us think about priorities in our life. Let us think about it, whether right across the spectrum, because our life is made up of everything that we do. And remember that saying we don't have time, or we can't do this because we don't have enough time, or man, if I had some more time is constant. You cannot change it. You can buy some more. You can, sift out some more. Ain't nobody gonna give you no more because they can't. So that's something that we have to deal with. And so whatever we have to do within those times, it would be good if we could prioritize, and so that we'll not do the things that are really meaningful, or really brings rewards, or really brings return, or really is required at that time. Because you can call everything priority in your life, but some of them are way up here and they go down, right? Yeah. For example, for me, what is priority for me is that I get to help a lot of people, in teaching them all these skills that I've learned here for social media. That's priority, because nowadays is social media skills are important. There's a lot to be learned from the social media platform, and not to think about the internet. That's like a whole new ball. It's a lot of in online skills, a lot of pitfalls, a lot of things that we need to do to still protect us. A lot of things that we need to pay attention to. So that's one of the things that I do, and I'm telling you, as I learn them, I'll be like, oh, I gotta let somebody know. So here I am, that's a priority for me, because the world has changed. The world has evolved. The world, we're not going back to the 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. No, this is a definitely new era. We are moving forward. So we might as well try to understand what is happening, because we have to exist. We have to coexist with the people and the things, right? Yeah. So we might as well know a thing or two, like the Liberty advertisement said, the man said he knows a thing or two. We might as well try to figure it out, and not to sit and be like, man, what's going on? I don't have any time for that. You find some time. I don't have any time for that. I don't have any time for this. No, no, no. We have got to be getting a little bit more conscious as to our existence and what's happening around us, and to apply ourselves. And so if it's a priority for you to understand some things about the internet online, whether online marketing or just skills to be online or social media, the strategies. What can I do here? I jump on Facebook, I have no idea what's going on. I just know I need to create a page, put in my information, and here I am. But there are ways to operate on Facebook. There are things you need to know to operate on Facebook effectively. Or for business people, you will go to Facebook jail. Or for even for anyone, if you do the wrong thing. So understand their policies and procedures and all that good. So there are things we need to know. What's priority for you? Are those things priority? John C. Maxwell reminds us. He said, if you have never done this before, write the answers out to what is required of me in the process. What's required of me in this setting up my priorities? What's required of me? Huh? And then he said, what's give the greatest return? And then what brings the greatest reward? I'm looking down because I'm looking at those 3 points. He said, once you have answered those questions, list the things you're doing that will uh, fit into those 3 areas, because you need to either do them or to eliminate some things, because sometimes they're really not priority, but we put them there because we think they are, but they're really not. When you really dissect it and look at it, yeah, it doesn't fit, because it might be important, but it is not a priority. There's a difference right there. So remember now, the only difference between the rich person and the poor person is time, right? How we use our time can really be helpful with getting our priorities done. So that's all I have for you today. I'm so happy for, so grateful that you have joined me. Now, in this community, we definitely have quite a few persons that have watched, been around all the time. I did a post just to say how thankful I am for you guys to hang out with me all the time and to read my posts and to check into my stories and so on and so forth. Because as a social media coach, then we have to practice what we preach, right? Yeah, there's a lot of skills to be learned here in social media. So I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to get into that space. So now I can come back and share with you guys. Last, want to thank persons who have watched the interview with the Margina myself when we talk about retirement. Now we have much more. We have another leg to come on that. As soon as I get the person, I definitely bring her on, and we're gonna touch on one aspect that I'm sure is going to be very, very beneficial. Other than that, I would love for you to join me at Yvette Garel Online next Wednesday at 4 p.m. That's my other page. Just type in Yvette Garel Online on Facebook. We will be talking with we will be doing an interview, and I'll be talking to a young lady, and she's going to be sharing how she used a particular concept of philosophy to grow her business online, and to and how it has impacted her life. So she'll share her journey, share some things about her. And it's not always about business, but remember, some of these skills can cut across anything in your life, and you can use them to up level and to become the better version of yourself as well. All right. So we thank you so. Yes, I know you're gonna be excited, and when you see who that is, gonna be much more excited, MJ. Yeah, we're gonna last week I did a master class on attraction marketing and how I used it to grow my business online. And then that's the bonus that's gonna come on next Wednesday. And we're gonna finish that session with that interview. So we're supposed to have it this weekend, but she's busy, so next week. So I'm looking forward to see a lot of people on, because it's going to be exciting, and I'm sure you're going to be learning a lot. Yes, we have spoken a lot about attraction marketing and how attraction marketing is becoming the more dominant concept in marketing arenas now. And a lot of people are using it in very subtle ways and pronounced ways without even knowing. So we're going to dive into that and share some tips and so on and so forth. All right, my friends, I will see you. I'm getting ready to up into a 4-hour training. I'm telling you, it's a lot of stuff. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. And you know what? I am so happy for the online world, because even when you cannot go places to do things and so on, there's always the internet. There's always the online world that will embrace you, and you can share your information, and it goes everywhere you want to go, because it's embedded on the World Wide Web. Yeah, appreciate it that way. So as I said, we'll talk on Wednesday of next week on my other page, and I'll be back here on Friday. I'll be back here on Friday. Wow, 4 hours. When will you be free from the employer? Oh, absolutely. That's not that's not the that's for my personal development, Marjay. Yes, it's not about the employees, for my personal development. So I'll sit there and I'll soak it up, because that's gonna help me to do some things in my business. Absolutely. So, all right, guys, take care of yourself. We talk soon. Bye.